By the way, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm.
Tua monstra colem sugetori. Habio prosingini in police quam. Il demonstra vimos in anno prietorito. Bwah.
So what do you possess this week? Is that what this is?
Yes, Satan has sent me to tell you your show sucks.
Uh-huh. I mean, you say that every week, even when you're not possessed, so I don't know why you did all this. But frankly, I don't even know why you want to work here if you hate it so much.
Are we still going to the strip club?
Oh, you know it.
What are you reading?
Oh, it's the Clipper. It's like coupons.
Man, they really don't pay you shit around here, do they?
All right. People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here. Too many 40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry. It's going to change. Be nice.
That ain't working.
I want you to be nice.
That ain't working.
And you'll both be nice.
So much as my wife was a giant. But,
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the way you do it.
The Rees Company.
Crack open a tepid Genesee and watch the pictures as they travel through your neighbor's Wi-Fi. It's the Rees Company. I'm Steve Rees, the bull of American broadcasting, alongside the great Chris Morganti. And tonight, we're going to do something that's probably going to make you grateful. Tonight, we're going to dance with the one who brought us. No Kiwi TV disasters. No guys wearing buckets on their heads selling hot boiling ice cream.
Yeah.
No 11-year-olds yelling in the tape recorders. Nope. We're going back to our vaunted movie of the week format.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah. You're very excited?
Well, no, but I'm ready.
And you've chosen this film.
I did.
Is there anything that made you choose it?
Well, I made a, as you know, I made a list of potential movies of the week that we could do, because it's no good us scrambling on a Monday to try and find one. So I figure we got a bunch of them we can go to that eliminates some of our prep time.
Like a bullpen, a veritable bullpen.
Exactly. And many of them were heavily favored towards what we've done in the past, which is like the lady in distress, the cop solving a murder case type of thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to go in a different route, and this is in fact a murder case, but very different from your typical TV or movie of the week murder case.
Yeah. This one's called The Demon Murder Case. It aired on March 6th, 1983 on NBC, and it stars Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. A year before he did Footloose.
And it's based on...
but he did a bunch of movies before that. Like
yeah,
Diner
he was in Animal House.
Animal House and
Friday the 13th.
But I guess he wasn't a star until he did Footloose.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Well, that one made him the megastar he remains to this day.
Right.
Now, it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I don't want to say it's based on a true story. It's based on a story involving an actual murder case.
Right.
And I don't know how much of the story you want to get into before we start watching it.
Well, here's the thing. The movie itself starts out at the trial. And it's got, a bane of, when we talk about these movies, it's got the typical 3-minute intro with the credits.
Right.
And I think they were trying to do like a thing like The Shining,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it's just Kevin Bacon as a prisoner on a bus driving.
The sole passenger.
Yeah. And I think they were trying to be like The Shining, that with that famous intro. But then they get to the courthouse, and there's reporters and lawyers and judges. And I said, hey, let's just skip all that, and let's go to 8 minutes in where what do you call it, a chyron or whatever the words on the screen come
or
up.
CG.
And
The lower third, I guess they call it today.
Okay. And it says 1 year earlier. And that's when you get to the interesting part. So it'll come back to the murder case at the end, of course. But I thought let's get into the meat of this.
Right.
And you know, that's where I started with it.
That's just it, Chris. It's been so long since we've done this, I forgot to cue the intro.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jim, for reminding us.
Yeah.
Okay, so your first chosen clip is a year before the murder trial.
Yeah, and well, we'll see what it is. But I should point out for me, and you know, my hearing isn't all that great, but I found the audio to be at times a problem. I don't know if you found the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, it was, right?
Yeah. It's not the best quality video or audio.
I had to watch this first scene 3 times before I could figure out everything that was being said. But I could still be wrong, so after the clip, I'd like to give you my interpretation of what was said, and you can tell me if I'm right.
Okay. Let's see it.
No. Oh, well, you just had a scare. Worse than that, Mom. Did you really see this little man? The beast, Mom. I saw him.
What'd he look like?
Like he'd been burnt all over in a fire. All black and charred. And his eyes way back in.
Anything else?
Yeah, he had an old beat-up hat and a plaid shirt. And jeans with holes in the knees. And he had little feet with hooves on them like a deer.
Did he say anything?
Yeah. He said, beware. And he pointed his finger at me. And then he threw me up and down.
What's his name, did he say?
The Beast. That's his name.
It's all over now. You never have to go back there again.
I'm not going back. But neither is he.
Neither is he. Do you mean the Beast?
Yeah, he followed us all the way here from Newtown.
Do you mean that he's here now?
Yeah, he was down there by the gate when we came in.
Brian, are you sure?
You think I'm crazy, don't you?
No.
Or maybe I'm making it up.
Brian, I believe every word that you're saying.
I hope so, Mom. Because I'm really scared.
Now, here's what I think was said in that scene. I'm a little pussy boy who's afraid of ghosts. Am I right?
Well, not in those words.
Oh, okay.
It was much more articulated.
Oh, okay.
And there was a lot more said, but I guess you can argue that that's what it amounts to.
Okay.
Indeed. Yeah.
Now, there was more said, and I believe what happened was that Kevin Bacon and his redheaded girlfriend are living with her parents, and that was the mom there, and
Yes.
and their younger son.
Yes.
Right. So they were trying to
Now,
move.
the parents' his younger son.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon's girlfriend's brother and his mother
Right.
are the ones, and the son's, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to confuse people. Kevin Bacon isn't related to any of these people we just saw.
Yeah. He's dating the older daughter.
He's a potential in-law to both of these folks.
Yeah, and I believe they were trying to move them, Kevin Bacon and his redheaded girlfriend, into like a house, and that's where they first encountered the demon. But then it followed them home, and even and Kevin Bacon and his girlfriend are still living with the parents. So that was what also was said in that scene. So that kind of sets up the next scene. The demon followed him home, and then this happens. But let me point out, Steve, this happened before Ritalin and Adderall were invented. So.
What is it?
Brian says it's the Beast again.
He's right over there. Can't you see him? He's got a knife and he's gonna cut me.
Brian, honey, there's nobody there. You're having a bad dream.
I'm not asleep, Mom. Watch out or he'll cut you too.
It's all right, sweetheart. Let me hold you.
Oh,
There you go.
Brian, that hurts.
Now that's enough, Brian.
I'm sorry, Mom. I I didn't mean it.
It's all right, sweetheart. I know you're upset. Come here. Brian, stop that.
Can we stop? Do you think he kind of looks like Haley Joel Osment there?
Yeah, he
In The
does.
Sixth Sense?
Yeah, definitely.
It's not him, though. It's too...
No.
I don't think he was born yet.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Help me, Mom, he's hitting me.
Brian, sweetheart.
Oh, he stabbed me, Mom.
Yeah, you can see all that blood.
Yeah. Well, Steve, this nonsense continues until eventually this happens, the next scene.
Yeah, it goes on for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean,
Someone calls the law.
yeah. Well, that's what we're about to see.
Okay.
Yeah. They got a noise complaint.
Honey, there's a cop downstairs complaining about the noise.
Noise! How the hell?
Noise! Now, can we pause it? Now, Steve, there's been a few great lines in the history of us watching these movies. I would like to nominate this next line.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Listen, everything's under control.
Yep. Sure sounds like it. Steve, I don't know what line of work this guy is in, but he considers that to be everything under control.
I hope he's not an airline pilot.
Yeah. Okay, now the next scene, I couldn't figure out even why it was in the film. It makes no sense. It's just about a guy who just came from an Alice Cooper concert. I don't know why this is in here.
Hey, something wrong? Chief, you're not going to believe this. Brian, I think I may have just heard the voice of the devil.
All right. Yeah, we all like his music. I don't get it. Similarly, this next scene seems kind of random, but it's an important cameo appearance. So yeah, let's let that go.
Let's check it out.
Hello?
Yeah, it's Herb Monganess.
Herb Monganess
Yeah.
makes an appearance.
He's just checking in on the demon child. All right, so next, those I believe that call was placed to the two people in that scene were the charlatans. I mean, paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, noted paranormal investigators.
Yeah, you know them from the Amityville Horror and the doll Annabelle, and other movies that they made about them.
Right.
I don't think this one ever got the silver screen treatment, but or did it?
Actually, it did recently.
Okay.
Last year, there was a Netflix film called The Conjuring 3
Oh.
that was also based on this story.
Oh. Well,
I think it was more loosely based on this story, but I've seen comments on the YouTube channel that this was the original version of the movie that was released last year.
did you see it?
I did not.
No, me neither. All right. Well, anyway, the Ed and Lorraine Warren show up, and the Catholic Church to get involved to figure out, what's wrong with this kid. And, Steve, the guys at my neighborhood bar had a theory.
Oh, yeah.
They said he doesn't get his ass beat enough. But anyway, there's a lot of scenes like this. I mean, there was literally like 20, 25 minutes of this. I just picked out it's only like 30 seconds of this.
Okay, but before we do this, shall we talk about the Warrens?
Sure.
And what their gimmick actually was?
Yeah, I'd love to.
They were a married couple. The woman, she was a psychic. She was a self-billed psychic. And her husband was a demonologist. Now, demonology, when you hear ology, sometimes you think science, sometimes you think belief. In this case, it's just a belief.
Right.
There's no science behind any of this.
Jim, can we pull up a picture of them for real?
But what they would do is, anytime someone had a psychotic episode, only in New England, it would have to take place within driving distance.
Sure.
These folks would show up and insist that the entire thing was the work of Satan. And people bought it. They sold books, they made movies, and a fortune. As a result of, as you described them as charlatans, as a result of this chicanery.
Yeah. And we'll get a picture of them up at some point. But
and a lot of people did not get the mental help they needed because of...
I suppose that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Like I said,
not necessarily because they intervened. I don't know specifically to them, but I'm sure there were a lot of cases where people who actually needed mental help were not treated properly because their family believed things that they had seen in these movies and read in the books that the Warrens wrote.
Yeah, and I know as far as the Amityville Horror goes, they were kind of accused of being in on it as a way just to sell a book deal.
Correct.
And make some money.
To sell books to morons, and that they did and continue to.
But if you see the picture of them, they don't look all that reputable. They look like what they are. They look like they should be owning a used car lot. So,
well, in a way they did.
Right.
So are we seeing the next scene now, or are we...
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the Catholic Church and the Warrens trying to help this kid.
After off. Basilis, Tubas, Natu Silap, Sapukni, Sapukni.
He is incubus, a demon of love.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that, like I said. And then finally we get this next clip, which is just the kid floating out of bed and, out the bedroom door.
And yes, we do know that's Andy Griffith playing Mr. Warren.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Like, if I saw something like that, you don't think that'd be like a life-changing event?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Now, during this incident, a reporter shows up outside the home.
Yes.
And Andy Griffith, the male Warren, he's there and he says she's not allowed in. She can't have access for the sake of the family's privacy.
Sure.
Not that not that this whole thing is a work.
Right.
That's not it. It's for the privacy of the family. Now, if demonic possession was a real thing, and it was a threat to humanity, wouldn't you want a reputable reporter to witness it and document it so that people could be warned? This is the stand going on in real time.
Yeah. I mean, there was someone floating out the bedroom door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have someone there who could maybe take a photograph of that. Mm-hmm. That might help. And what he says, what Andy Griffith says to the reporter is, well, we don't need any non-believers in there because somehow that'll aggravate the demon. Yeah, because he's being so reasonable so far. You don't want to aggravate him. It occurs to me, Steve, that usually when we talk about things, one of us, even if it's not our true feelings, will try to take the other side just so there's some kind of like give and take.
Oh, no, this is going to be a pile on, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Neither of us are putting ourselves in the position of, All right, so what do we have next? The next part is this is short. They're all short from here. But the next part is actually relevant to the murder case. We haven't really talked about the murder case at all yet. But this is the first part that's actually relevant to that.
No, and at this point, I'm sorry, can I say, at this point, as a viewer, you think, oh, it's a murder,
Right.
you think something else is going to happen. I was led to believe something else was going to be the titular murder.
Oh, you thought the kid was going to kill somebody?
I thought Kevin Bacon was going to murder the kid. Now, we know from the outset that Kevin Bacon is on trial because we watched his 8-minute bus ride to the courthouse.
Right.
We don't know who he killed.
We do not know that, right.
So I thought perhaps the whole idea was Kevin Bacon murders the kid because he's threatened by this guy who's possessed by a demon, and his defense is he was possessed by a demon.
Right.
But that turns out not to be the case at all.
Yeah.
So let's see the next one.
Poor kid. We gotta take him fishing with us next time we go.
I don't know when that'll be once I take this job.
Oh, you made up your mind to take it?
Kenny, gotta get out of that house. And here's a job with a free apartment attached. How can I say no to this?
I could find us an apartment.
Ken, you've been looking for 3 months. Places you wouldn't.
Yeah, so that's it. They're living with the demon kid. And they're like, trying to, they're a young couple. They just want to get out of there.
Yeah.
So she gets offered a job with, and we'll see later, she gets offered a job by a real scumbag who owns a kennel but also has an apartment that she can stay at as part of her compensation.
Right.
Yeah, her and Kevin Bacon can both stay there. So that's the gist of that. They just want to get out of that house. Next, we have, I just have roast battle written down for this clip. I don't even know what that means, but we can check this out.
Sing! Dead man. Dead man.
You call me a dead man. You're the one that's dead. And if you ain't, man, I'll kill you. You come out of Brian, I'll take you on. I'll take you on. You hear me?
Kenny! No! They told you not to say that!
I don't care. I've had enough.
You stink. Your yellow guts stink.
No, you're the one who stinks. You're the one who stinks, man. You come out of Brian so I can fight you. You coming to me, I'll show you who stinks.
Yeah. So what we have happening here is he challenged the demon to leave the little kid's body and come into his.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened. And in this next scene, we see, which I'm sure is how it happened, we see that the demon has indeed gone into Kevin Bacon's body.
The transformation has occurred.
Yeah.
Kenny, what is it?
It's him. Bert, man.
I don't see anything.
Up there. Looking at us. Feet like a goat. Beast.
Kenny, let's go.
What?
Kenny, come on.
Okay, we're out of here.
I feel like goats are getting a bad rap through all this. I'm not sure why they're so connected with demons.
Cloven hooves.
Is that yeah, but why though?
I think that's the connection.
Don't cows have cloven hooves too, and deer and stuff?
Many animals do.
Right. I mean, I was at a petting zoo not 2 weeks ago. The goats were so nice. You could walk up to them, feed them, pet them. I don't get it. Why are they getting a bad rap?
Well, I think they're being besmirched for sure.
Yeah. What's next? Here we see the boss / landlord that I mentioned before.
Can we talk about this guy for a bit?
Yeah.
As you said, he's a kennel owner, and he's hired Kevin Bacon's girlfriend as a groomer, a dog groomer.
Right.
He's also renting her and Kevin an apartment, which you've also pointed out. He also has a very particular fascination.
Yeah. With the country of Australia.
Yes.
Yeah. So much so that it seems like he almost has an Australian accent. But he's not from there.
No, he's indeed an American. Right. He visits frequently. So Kevin, his girlfriend, Kevin's sisters, I think they're his sisters.
Yeah. And like two sisters and a cousin, something like that.
Okay. They all go out to lunch, and they're drinking, particularly the guy who's obsessed with Australia, the boss of Kevin Bacon's girlfriend. And he's really laying on this Australian gimmick.
Yeah, he wants them to go back to his place and listen to Australian music.
I think his exact words were, come back to my flat, we'll throw around the boomerang and watch Cold Chisel on the Don Lane show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. You're an Aussie-loving fool. Relax, buddy.
Yeah.
Relax, mate.
That's an odd angle to take when trying to pick up a girl. Like, not that you're from Australia. Like maybe that was his thing. Like he wanted to act like he was from Australia, but he just couldn't get the accent right.
The accent, so he was.
Yeah, no, I just really like it. That's all,
He was instead an enthusiast.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is actually, what we're going to see is he gets tipsy and a bit handsy with Kevin Bacon's redheaded girlfriend, and
now you keep saying redheaded. Is that a factor? Is that a?
Well, I just want people to know.
Oh, who the?
I don't know any of these people's names.
No, I wondered if you found that aspect alluring in some way, because she's a pretty gal.
Yeah, I don't think she did much after this in Hollywood wise, but no, I just want people to be able to identify who
the
these
character.
people are.
Understood.
Because you're going to know who Kevin Bacon is.
Yeah, he's Kevin Bacon.
And the other adult in this scene is the crazy landlord. So.
I'm warning you, Philip.
You're not walking out on me. Can't you hear me? You're singing with me.
You let her go! Come on, sport. Hey.
You called him sport?
Stop it right now.
Okay, can we stop it? Did you notice how nonchalant that dog was, just sitting there? Like, at one point, I think earlier in the scene, they showed the dog barking, but then when they got to hear the dog's just like, he's had enough. man, this is a long shoot, guys. When are we wrapping this up?
I'm off the clock over. I'm on dog hours. You have to replace me with a twin after 15 minutes on the set. So.
You want to fight, sport? Huh?
Sport. He calls him sport again.
No, both of you, stop it right now.
Yeah, he's been very condescending to him throughout, the whole process. So. Oh, there they go.
That's good acting by Kevin right there.
Really?
Yeah. I think he looks otherworldly.
Okay.
Ellie? Ellie?
No!
What's that guy doing? What was that?
I spoke too soon.
No!
I don't think goats make that noise.
I mean, what is that?
Oh, this. Oh, he's pumping his fist, probably for a rugby match.
Nancy, look at Philip.
Yeah. Well, he's dead.
Yeah. And to think just a few years later, things would have gone down differently. Because that guy would have known to have said, that ain't a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah. Yeah. He narrowly missed that opportunity.
And Kevin would have scampered away.
Yeah. All right, we only have one more clip here. It's
okay.
Now this takes us back to the trial, I think. Maybe not. But
okay, but also you did point out earlier that this seems like a clear case of two drunk guys fighting over a woman.
Right. Yeah. That's all. I mean, an outsider would conclude that's what just happened.
Right.
But, yeah, Matlock has some other ideas.
He was possessed by demons, and we're going to go the limit to try to convince people and the court that this boy did come under possession and was under possession at the time of the stabbing.
But is possession a defense? If it isn't, it should be.
Well, it turns out, Steve, the judge was having none of that, refused to hear any of the evidence. And the guy ended up being convicted of manslaughter. And he served 5 years, which, you know, I don't know. I guess that's par for the course of manslaughter. I don't know. I mean, that seems reasonable. Like, that he was provoked into that in some way. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't feel like he ever thought his life was in danger. He was the one with the weapon. It's very hard to prove.
But he may have felt that his cousin or his sister were in danger. So, I don't look, I'm not a lawyer.
Okay, but I think we should also say that the judge's reasoning for not allowing any of the quote-unquote evidence
Right.
of demonic possession was that, number one, there's no such defense. And if there was, there's no way to prove it.
Right.
The best plea probably would have been temporary insanity.
Yeah.
But if you admit you're insane, you're admitting that possession is a medical problem and not an otherworldly interference problem.
Right.
And that kind of...
Yeah, an insanity defense would have made sense because, like, look, I've been living with this kid who gets up every night and howls like a freaking wolf and keeps us all up. I haven't had a good night's sleep in 2 years. I mean, what do you know? But that's not where they went with that. You know what I didn't find out post this case? Did those two ever get back together?
Oh, I don't know. I believe from what I read, the family stuck beside him. And I believe that included his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
But I do not know for sure.
Well, I don't know that the whole family stuck beside them.
There was one guy, Carl, who
Right.
I don't think we saw.
Wow. And they cut him out of the movie.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he said the whole thing was nonsense. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
So they had to stick with the demonic possession thing for the sake of the potential profits of all of the media that would result.
Yeah. It hurts your case when you have a skeptic who lived in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how much they got?
Oh, for the book or for the movie?
How much the family was compensated, I believe, for the book.
Oh, you know what? I kind of remember it being kind of low.
$2,000.
Oh, man. Wow, did they need an agent?
They stuck with the story for $2,000.
Man.
Now, look, in 1981, 1983, whatever it was, it was a lot more than it is today, but still not enough to commit to this lie. Yeah. And a lie that endangers people. Because people with real mental health issues are not getting the attention they deserve because some people believe in this nonsense. It was very prevalent in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Maybe the motive was more than financial, though. Like, maybe they got a reputation around town as being just nuts. And they're like, hey, look, it's not our fault. There's this demon. He's been after us. You know, we used to be normal, and then, you don't know. So maybe it was more than a financial motive. I don't know.
All right. So before we rate it,
I forgot we even did that. Okay.
We do.
All right.
You want to do the YouTube comment?
Yeah. There were actually a lot of comments on this movie. But one, I think, really kind of summed everything up. So if we could put that on screen. Is it on? Okay. I want to know if I can get it on my own personal information to be in touch with your own home and office and the other hand. So that comes from Willie Hicks, and, thank you for that. I think that's what we were all thinking. So thanks, Willie.
Voice of the people.
Right. So what would you rate this?
I'd rate this one 2 out of 5, Meredith Baxter's.
Now, do you feel like your disdain for the subject matter has colored your opinion on the film itself?
No. My opinion of the film itself is that nothing much happens.
Yeah.
We see a lot of the same scene or some version of the same scene over and over.
Yeah.
There are really only 2 things that occur. The kid loses his mind and Kevin Bacon kills somebody. These things are clearly unrelated to anyone with half a brain.
Right.
Yet it's dragged out far too long. And the two, the principals try to make a dovetail joint out of the 2 incidents, but in reality, those things don't seem cohesive.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I'll just go with 2 as well. I thought, like I said, the beginning reminded me of The Shining, the intro, even though I hate long intros, but it still did. And then when that reporter first pops up, I thought maybe there was some potential here. But they should have, I feel like they should have gone right. They could have used that kind of scary mood setting if they'd started with the kid meeting the demon, you know? Why they chose to start this in a courtroom, it just seemed like a misstep.
Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense had they had the scene where the kid encounters the demon the first time instead of just having him describe it.
Yeah, the whole thing could have been told chronologically instead of how they did it. But, I don't make films. I don't know. So we both agree 2 out of 5 Meredith Baxters.
You know who the voice of the demon was?
I forget.
Harvey Fierstein.
Right. Yeah. Good for him. Getting some work.
Yeah. But when you know that, if I had known that watching it, the demon parts would have been hilarious.
Yeah. I don't know his work. I know him as like a personality.
You see him. Yeah, you've seen him in a lot of
Hollywood Squares. Was he in that?
No, I think you're.
Never mind.
I can name a couple of people I think you're thinking.
Okay. Well, then never mind.
All right. In that case, Chris, did we do it?
I guess we did.
Okay. Thanks so much, and thanks so much to Jim. Hey, for Chris Morgani, I'm Steve Rees. Askiwiwi.
Askiwawa.
All back now.
Tigers.
Eat 'em raw. We did it.
Have you or a member of your family been possessed by a demon? Have you been charged with noise violations, failure to upkeep your property, theft, incest, or murder?
Don't take the rap. It's not your fault Satan chose to prey on your family. Contact us, the law firm of Moncanes and Albano. You can find us on Google. Do not use Yelp.